Hi everyone. Oh geez. Okay. My hands look kind of rough. I apologize. Anyway. Yeah, this is gonna be a currently inked video. I did one in January, and that was a pretty good ink lineup. This month I will stop being mysterious and vague and show you what I inked my new sailor with. Yeah, I think that I'll just get into it because this month I think I have, I have the same amount as usual, but I did ink up, I did finally sort of cave and I inked up a black, just because I wanted something that I could use in my reading journal slash like book journal. I don't know, because I missed using a fountain pen in there, but for cohesive, I guess cohesion, I just felt like I would use a black ink. Anyway, okay, so this month is February. I already wrote this out last night, and usually I do everything in sort of like a rainbow order, but I think this month I'm gonna not do that. I'm just gonna go in order of like the way I think things might look nice. Okay, so I'll just move this up here because the first pen is going to be the new sailor. Just to get it out of, not to get it out of the way, but because this is the pen that I'm using in my daily journal for this month. And Shauna actually guessed it, Shauna from Serial Nana, when I said, oh, I don't know what I'm going to put in it. And she suggested maybe a purple to go like contrast, like on the opposite side of the color wheel. And that is actually indeed what I did. I chose like a sort of pinky purple for this pen's first ink, mostly because it's for my pages in February, but also I thought it would kind of look nice. I compiled a list of inks that I thought I might put in here, and after going through all my yellows, I was like, actually, I think I want something that I can use for February. Okay, so this is yeah, I'm I I'm so pleased with this nib. As I've mentioned a few times in the past, I love sailors, even though they're expensive and sometimes they are very divisive depending on how you feel about the feedback. But this one is actually really, like, it's smooth for a sailor, I guess, but also it flows really nicely. So I'll just get on with it. Sorry about that. Okay. So this is my Sailor 1911S with a medium nib, and this is actually a Sailor ink. This is Sailor Shikiori Yozakura. I really do like this color a lot. I had a sample of it and I used all of it, so I got another sample. But I think I don't know if it leans more pink or more purple. It's kind of in between, to my eyes at least. But I think they kind of look nice together, and since it's like a pink purple, I thought it would be perfect for February. Okay, now we'll get on to my general inked pens. So since it is February, and I'm not the biggest Valentine's person, but my partner loves love, and so I sort of have leaned into it more over the years. I'm using this pen that I love from London Pen Co. It's red and white, so it's perfect for Valentine's Day. Okay, so do I just leave one space? I don't even remember anymore. This is quite a deep red, and I just used the last of this sample, which is nice. And this is a Diamine ink. This is Diamine Red Dragon. I don't know what it is. I have always kind of liked red inks because I'm very fortunate to have never had the horrors of having papers marked with red ink and being like scarred for life by it. I did, yeah, now if I'm thinking about it, I think most of my papers were actually marked in like blue ballpoint. I don't know. But yeah, so I don't have the same aversion to red ink that a lot of people do. Especially when it's like sort of a deeper red like this, because this is almost, it's not quite oxblood, but it's darker than like the like marking ink, because I assume the marking would have been done in like a red ballpoint. Anyway, I just like this red a lot. This was actually one of the first samples I ever got. And I just finished it now, but yeah, so that's this. I'm gonna take a pause to take a sip of some water, but then we'll get back to it. Okay, so next is a pen that I had considered selling, because I think I mentioned a while ago as well, that I was having some issues with my Pilot pens drying out. And then I think it was also Shauna who mentioned that, like, oh yeah, it's the Con 40. The Con 40 converter is terrible, and I agree. The converter is quite terrible, but I do like these pens. Like the pens that take the Con 40 are usually very, I don't know, they're usually very reliable. But I was having issues with this pen and my Kakuno, which devastating because I love the Kakuno. The Pilot Kakuno in a medium nib, the pink and white one, was my first ever fountain pen. Anyway, so this is the Pilot Prera. This is one of the like the original colorways. I don't remember what it's called. But it's like a dark brown color. It's kind of hard to tell on camera, but shockingly, this is sarcasm, but like shockingly, I have this in a medium nib as well. Not as much diversity with the nibs this month as we had last month. So this is the Pilot Prera with a medium nib. And actually, I had it inked with a different ink originally, and I literally just changed it last night because since this is a Japanese medium versus the London Penco having like a Western medium, the line width is thinner, but the brown that I had in here previously looked way too similar to Red Dragon. So yeah, I just swapped it last night. But this is Robert Oster chocolate pudding. I got this ink, I think it might have been the first time I went to Scriptus, which is the Toronto Pen Show. I can't remember, but I got it at Scriptus, and I had seen someone else use it, and I was like, wow, that's a beautiful color, but I do remember them mentioning it was a little dry, and then I got it, and I tried it in several pens, and I was like, yeah, it is pretty dry, which I luckily haven't had that experience with a lot of Robert Osterings. However, I ordered some Van Ness White Lightning from Penablers. I got a little, like, a teeny tiny vial of it, and I added the teeniest tiniest amount to the cartridge that I have in here, because I just filled an empty cartridge. Yeah, I did the thing that was advised, where you take like either a paper clip or like a safety pin, and you like dip it in the White Lightning, and then you put it in the ink. So I did that, and now it writes amazingly. Like, it flows so much better, and I'm very pleased with that. All right, what's the next? What's next? Do I have any other? Okay, yeah, so these are my only two, like, sort of, my only two, like, just miscellaneous pens. The other ones all have functions. So next, I'm going to be showing you my, this is my TWSBI Eco. This is the one that I've deemed my drawing pen, other than my, like, various Kavekos, because this one is a TWSBI with a broad nib, and I really like it for drawing, because I was very much a, when I was in art school, my preferred medium has always been markers, and like fine liners. I just prefer that to any other medium. But I always preferred a thicker line width. So anyway, so I got this broad, and it is very broad, as you would expect. However, because it's broad, I thought I would put a drier ink in here, one that chromo shades. I'm considering also adding White Lightning to this, because I've only drawn like a little bit with it, because I'm trying to get back into drawing, but I have been having some flow issues. It seems to be fine right now, which is good, but Anyway. Okay, so this is the TWSBI Eco, and the ink is Troublemaker Abalone. I think it's pronounced abalone, or is it abalone? If you know, please feel free to correct me. But I like this ink a lot, like color-wise. I've just never had any luck with it in any other nib. But yeah, this seems to be fine right now, so maybe I'll hold off on adding White Lightning. But yeah, it's a beautiful blue with sort of pinky purple chroma shading. I really like this ink. I actually have a bottle of it, but yeah, I've been struggling for a while to figure out what pen to put it in, but this might be a good combination. And then there's only one there's one pen left, and I'm gonna have another sip of water, sorry. My last pen is another Sailor. It's actually, I did not realize, but yeah, these are the same body. I didn't realize until like a few days ago, where I was like, wait a minute, they're both compasses, or not compass, they're both 1911 standards, but this one is the compass, so it's a steel nib. It's very entry level, or not very entry level, but like it's like probably one of the most affordable Sailors other than like the Profits. Is it Profit or Profit? Anyway, it's a good pen, and I used to use it. This was the pen that I used in my planner for several years. Maybe? I don't know. No, I used it for like a year. Because before that I was using the Pilot Metropolitan. Anyway, so I only stopped using this in my planner last year because of the issue with the Sanzen paper. But I decided that I would use this in my reading journal this year, and I have yet to actually start my reading journal. I've been putting it off. I read one book in February, which is a little, it's fine, but it's not on par with my usual reads. I usually get at least 2 or 3 books in a month, but I'm not stressed over it. This is actually the first year I've decided I'm not doing a reading goal, because I was yeah, after years of doing reading goals and thinking last year I didn't hit my reading goal, I ended up actually hitting it. Apparently one of the things I was logging, it just didn't count because I forgot to put the dates in. But anyway, yeah, I just decided not to do a reading goal anymore, because it puts a weird amount of stress on me, and also I'm not reading to achieve things. I'm reading for enjoyment and to learn. Anyway, so this is this a medium fine? Yes, it is. Okay, so this is the Sailor Compass, or well, the Sailor 1911S compass with a medium fine nib, and this is straight up just like a black Sailor cartridge. But yeah, so this is the color palette I have for February, and I'm really liking it. Unfortunately I haven't had much. Okay, it's already like almost mid-February, or it is mid-February, geez, okay. But yeah, it's mid-February already. I haven't had much time to write with these 3. This one I use every day. This one I just did a few days ago, and yeah, this one I just haven't been drawing, but I'm hoping that I get more time in the next few weeks, because I've been really busy, surprisingly. Yeah, there's just a lot going on. I also have a job now, so I can't be just messing around in my notebooks all the time like I was for like the few months that between graduating and getting a job. Anyway, these are the colors I have. I'll try and bring it up so you can see a little better. Hopefully this is nice. Not nice, but like hopefully it's easier to see that way. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and I hope that February is treating you well. Take care. Bye-bye.